Welcome to the Pure American Podcast, the show where we cover what's happening in America and what we think Americans should be thinking about, honestly, and spending their time researching for those who like to research into happenings, political-wise, in America. We're your hosts, Fatty and Red Boy. Hey, we've been gone for a minute. We have. You can blame all that on life. Before we get into the show, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at Pure American Podcast, because we have been dead. Well, we're not dead, but we stopped for a little bit. This is official.
3 weeks. No,
Yeah.
longer.
About a month.
Yeah.
Maybe a month and some change. This is episode 12 overall and numerically, but today marks the start of season 2 of the show. So we hope you guys will welcome us back and forgive us. Before we get into talking about things like headlines, we're actually going to be kind of giving, little life updates. So one of the reasons I stopped is because for any of y'all who are in college know that finals was a couple weeks ago, really, just ended. The semester for me just ended. So that's really what I've been consumed in and trying to do, as well as I'm actually taking a break from college and going into trade school because I don't know what I want to do with my life yet. But I do like trades, so I had to get my life situated, find a new place to live, all this great stuff, life. So that's what's been going on my end. Tristan, you have some big news.
Yeah, for me, the reason why it's been a month since we've been off is for the first 2 weeks, I was clearing out of the Army, and then I got out of the Army on the 5th, and then I decided I went back to Oregon for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I just got back yesterday, and so obviously I wasn't going to bring this whole setup with me. I did bring my MacBook, but then I was just I brought my MacBook and my mic and my camera because I was thinking maybe we'd record some, but I was just spending time with my family, so then we just decided, I'll be back on the 19th, we'll just do it then.
Yep, it's a lot more important. Family's a lot more important, and but we've had a good time, going and doing our own little things, but we did miss this. We do enjoy doing this. It's not like we just gave up because we hate it.
Yeah, and y'all ask us where we're at. You guys care. It's wild.
Yeah, so we appreciate y'all. We're not dead. We're still here. Everything's fine. And Tristan is now officially a veteran.
Yeah, and a civilian.
Yeah.
And I'm, again, over the next, not this coming week, but the week after that, it might be a little shoddy again because I'm moving back to Dallas or DFW area. I'm going to Fort Worth, Arlington area, and I'm moving into a new apartment. So with moving and everything, it's going to be
we will keep y'all. We will try our best to keep y'all posted. It's definitely on us. We didn't do a good job. I didn't do a good job of updating everybody with what's going on, but life came fast, so we had to adjust. That's life. Now we're trying to gear our episodes down to be a little bit shorter. I know they're usually hour and 40 minutes long. So we don't want to do that anymore. We want to shorten them down for you guys, so you guys will be able to actually bear with us droning on, through the entire episode. So that's what we're going to really try and hammer home with this new season. But here's what we're going to be talking about today. So everyone remembers January 6th, right? January 6th?
Yeah, the riot. Mm-hmm. Or not the riot, but the raid. Oh, yeah, it was a riot, but more of a raid.
Yeah. So, it was the siege on the Capitol, right? What have you. So, for those of y'all that don't know, the House actually passed a bill. They're going to create a commission, which is a group of just people, like a committee. And they're going to probe, as it says, or just investigate the January 6th Capitol attack. Why? I guess that would really be the question. It's what? It's May 19th as of the recording of this. This will come out the 20th.
5 months later.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to know the official voting number, it was 252 to 175. A lot of people are upset about that 175 number. But I'm really this is something that I thought was interesting. This tweet that actually caught my eye was talking about how there was a bunch of Republicans that it was worded, I think it was by Adam Schiff, capitulated, which means like bowed down to the dictator, Trump. And everyone's talking about all the people who voted against this just want to cement Trump's tyranny.
He uses the term dictator way too loosely.
The words, because everyone's calling them terrorists and all this stuff, right? And look, I'm not saying that I agree with what happened. I think we've cleared that up in previous episodes.
Yeah, we have.
But I wouldn't say it was a terror attack.
You got the left saying they're terrorists. You got the right saying they're patriots. Which, I mean, doesn't surprise me because every time there's an incident, it's always left versus right.
Yeah, it's pick a side, or if you don't pick, and if you stay in the middle, whatever side that, like, let's say you have right-leaning friends, and you're like, yeah, no, I think we'll stay neutral on this issue. They're like, oh, you're just left-leaning. If you have left-leaning friends, be like, oh, you're a Republican. Nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's annoying. It's very annoying. So here you go. Abigail Spanberger, excuse me, said January 6th was a violent terrorist attack on our democracy. Everyone should want to know how it happened to prevent future attacks. That's why the Homeland Security Chair and ranking member negotiated a bipartisan commission. Now, for those of you that actually care, the Homeland Security Chair is a Democrat and the ranking member is Republican, right? So that's why they're calling it bipartisan. Mm-hmm. And then she goes on to say, and yet 175 Republicans voted against it. Oh, shocker. You know what I mean? Like, just because two people come to an agreement that are on separate sides doesn't mean that everyone on each side is going to agree with it. That's common knowledge, I feel like. But I really wanted to talk about, like, I think we've said it in previous episodes, but I really don't think it's that deep.
The, like, investigation
was like, oh, it was terrorists that are embedded in our system. They wanted to see our democracy fall. No, I just think it was a couple of knuckleheads that decided to, run through the front door and then the masses follow. You know what I mean? It's like a snowball. You start rolling a snowball down a hill, and as it goes, it keeps getting bigger, and bigger. I think it was something like that. That's what I truly believe that happened.
Well, I mean, they say it to this, but when, and if this is a bad correlation, tell me. But they're saying that them raiding the Capitol was the worst thing that could happen. What about the riots last year?
That's what I say. Hey, keep that same energy, man. If the riots of the summer, last summer, that were there actually burning down buildings, government buildings too, right? Because they had to call in, what was it, ICE, Homeland Security had to go in, and like
National
literally
Guard.
like we're talking, like, we ain't talking no police, we talking Fed boys, like with camo. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Tactical gear. Actual, real tactical gear. Had to go in and help control the situation and protect government buildings and officials. Those were peaceful protests, and there wasn't a big care about that. But, of course, this is what sparked... This is terrorism. Sure.
Your video
like
is kind of lagging a little bit.
I know, I got bad Wi-Fi. It'll be all right, though.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was mine. But yeah, so it's just... The riot was bad. I mean, yeah, they stormed the Capitol. I don't agree with that at all. I feel like there could have been a way better way about going at it, including that people were killed and they caused a lot of property damage to a government building, such as the riots last year. But how is this one like demonized and the other one is praised?
I don't know. It's like literally... Obviously, I don't agree with what happened because you're fulfilling the negative stereotype they have about right-leaning people, clearly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what you said.
But like
how is it any different? Keep that same energy. It's the same energy.
I said this before in another episode. God damn. Coming back up to this altitude's fucking killing me. But I said this in another episode. I can't remember, how long ago it was. Fuck. Well, now I just forgot what I was going to say. Because I was trying to think about what I was trying to say.
Don't think about too many things. Your brain won't be able to work.
I know. It's freaking wild. But it's just...
You were in the Army.
Yeah, I know. I was taught not to think. But I don't get it. The media demonizes everything that Republicans do. Conservatives, paleo-conservatives, ANCAPs, even though your whole ideology is a contradiction.
You're a walking meme.
Yeah, you're a walking meme.
Same with libertarians.
Yeah.
Suck it.
But it's like, why do they demonize that? But then when it comes to the left, it's just like, oh, sunshines and rainbows. They did it out of fear. They did it out of all this oppression that they're facing and everything. I'm like, dude,
right.
You gotta keep, like you said, keep the same damn energy, because now you're causing more division, because people are also wondering, like us, why you're not keeping the same energy when it comes to pretty similar circumstances.
And if anything,
or not circumstances, similar outcomes.
Right. If anything, right, I would argue that a lot of people would say the point of the peaceful protests over the summer was to get the attention of the government, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's for. You want to get national attention, you want to get your message across, and you want to, get the attention of the people where it actually matters. The people who make those decisions.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Instead of burning down buildings, right, what these people did, just decided to go right to the front doorstep.
Yeah, that's literally what I was trying to think about. They did the right thing. They took it straight to the government, but they did it for the wrong reasons.
Well, I wouldn't even say for the wrong reasons. It was more along the lines of, I think, taking it straight to the government is a good idea. How they went about it was not the good idea.
Yeah, I find it so weird. It's like, they're like, yeah, let's take it to the government. I'm like, all right, cool, go ahead, go to the front door.
Right.
But they're taking it to the Capitol over the election. I mean, like, I don't, like, regardless of what any of y'all's beliefs are on if it was rigged or if it wasn't rigged, it's an election. Like, people are not going to like the outcome. Pretty much every 4 years there's an election. Someone or a group of people are not going to like the outcome. Therefore, yeah, you have every right to be pissed. You have every right to think that, our economy is going to go in the tank, gas prices, whatever you want to worry about. But you don't have to riot, cause all this property damage, put stress on the country as a whole, and make ourselves look weak and stupid to the rest of the world just because you didn't like who was voted into office.
I mean, welcome to the world of people will have differing opinions than you, right? It's literally, it's what this world is. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be this big shock, and for some reason it is to some people. You know what I mean? But who knows, who cares, all that great stuff. I think the words terrorists and all this stuff is being, like we said earlier, overused, and just like racism, it's going to lose all meaning. You know what I mean? And
because it's being used too loosely.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like you just said, yeah, racism. Everything's fucking racist. A cop dog on a cartoon TV show is apparently inherently racist. Syrup bottles racist. Land O'Lakes butter's racist. Everything that's been fine for the last 20, 30 years is already fucking, or all of a sudden racist.
I don't know what you're talking about with the Land O'Lakes thing. We just did, as Americans, apparently what we do. We remove Indians from the land and keep the land.
Yeah.
You don't see
all they did was remove the Indian and keep the butter. It's not like that. I'm still going to eat the butter. Like, I don't care.
They took the Native American woman off of the stick of butter, but kept the land with the lakes. Mm-hmm. She's probably living in a reservation right now. That might have been poor taste, Tristan. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. I'm more worried about, what I'm honestly worried about is the probe, right? So what does this mean, right? What does this all mean? What is the goal of this, right? When they say probe or investigate, they're going to start pulling some Patriot Act stuff to get details on people, right? They're going to be looking into people's pasts, the people who were there, the people who were arrested, people who weren't arrested, the people who were just probably there just to strictly protest, right? Because originally that's what it was. It was not some giant, we're going to storm the Capitol on this day. No, hey, we're all going to come out there, show the support for a president who a lot of them believe the election was stolen from. You know what I mean? And, I mean, there are audits going on right now, or investigations into different states, right? Again, this is going to probably be some super sketch stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't feel safe about it.
It's like, I don't get, so it's like, I can't even put into words right now. Fuck.
No, yeah, like we're gonna be looking at some NSA breathing down your neck. You better cover up your face cameras because they're gonna be staring at you type stuff. You know, and call that conspiracy, but that's what happens.
The whole ordeal was literally just a sheep ideology. I know, like, back when it happened, everyone was just like, oh, well, BLM's the people who first went into the building. I'm like, okay, there's no proof of that. Even though there is proof of people who were from BLM that were there, apparently.
Even if that's the case, you chose to follow him.
Yeah, you chose to follow them. You're just like, yeah, that guy, he's a smart ass. Let's fucking follow him. Let's go break some windows. You decided to follow him, and so now you can't play victim. You decided to participate, even if you didn't break anything. Like they say, guilty by association. You automatically interacted with that whole ordeal, which made you involved.
Exactly.
So, no one who was there that actually contributed to it can play victim at all.
No. Now, like I said, what I am nervous about is what they're going to use this as an excuse, because, they're already going through federal agencies, the military, of right-wing, quote-unquote right-wing extremists that they're booting out of the military. This is what you kind of have to be worried about, is what are they going to use this to justify a probe into that one guy who put up a tweet of, oh, I support Donald Trump still, or I'm a Republican. You know what I mean? There's a lot of very thin line, you know what I mean? Like a gray area of what's about to happen with this. Because we could see another Patriot Act, like I said. Now, this is just in the House, though.
Yeah.
So.
Something that I've been thinking about lately is mainly because, I've been seeing, tweets about it. And this is kind of off topic, but it was when Biden said that no, amendment, they say absolute, no amendment is absolute or something like that. I've been seeing tweets and videos and posts just of people supporting what he said. They're just like, yeah, no amendment's absolute, which means obviously amendments can be taken away or changed.
That's scary to think about.
Yeah, it's scary to think about. I mean, think about the four that came to my mind. First off, obviously, freedom of speech, the First Amendment. Next thing you know, because freedom of speech also protects freedom of religion and for practicing.
Canada's already arresting pastors for holding church services.
Yeah, and so first off, freedom of speech, First Amendment's going to be out the door. You already see that with the censorship going on in the media. Second one, obviously, what most right wing and even some left wing people care about is the Second Amendment, your right to keep and bear arms. That could be taken away. Next thing you know, you have nothing to protect yourself with, because it goes away inch by inch, just little by little till it's completely gone. Next up, the 13th Amendment. African Americans aren't going to be considered full people again. And lastly, the 19th Amendment, which I'm kind of on the wall about, a woman's right to...
No, we're being serious.
Yeah, in all seriousness. That one's fine. No, but so...
You'll never know.
But the reason why I bring up the 19th Amendment is because most of these tweets and posts I'm seeing are from women saying that they support them. Like, all right, no amendment's absolute. What if you don't have the right to vote anymore? Are you still going to support that, dude? If you support Biden, cool. Even though I've seen a lot of people change from supporting Biden within the last couple months since his election because of, some of the fucked up shit he's been doing.
Yep.
But no amendment's absolute. That's awesome. So fuck your rights, pretty much. Fuck the Constitution.
Yeah. It's going to be sketch, boys. Everybody cover up your cameras on your computers now.
I know everyone's going to be watching this and be like, oh, well, that's not what he meant. I'm like, how else are you supposed to mean it? I know he's got a speech problem or whatever you want to call it, but dementia, I don't know. But, there's literally no other way to interpret that. There is no other interpretation of that.
So, I want to shift over to something, by the way. It's different. Literally caught my eye 5 minutes before we started this. It says an army of 16-year-olds takes on the Democrats. Had to click it. Had to.
An army of 16-year-olds?
Yep. So it says young progressives. This is from the New York Times. Young progressives are an unpredictable new factor in Massachusetts elections. They're ardent and organized, and they don't take orders. You're 16, Hoss. Pump the brakes a little bit if you're not going to take orders.
Go to algebra.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go. It says Dana, I'll try to pronounce this last name. It's like Deppeltau. We'll just go with that. A hotel manager has just gone public with a long-shot candidacy for mayor in Boston when he noticed that someone in city politics was going after him online. Well, who do you think? You know, everyone goes after, but this one apparently caught his eye. It says the effect of this attack, he said, was lightning fast and pervasive. The morning after he announced his candidacy on Twitter, he showed up at his local barbershop, and while staring at himself in the mirror, overheard a customer describing his views as white supremacist. Here we go. So let's see where did all this come from. I'm thinking, man, politics is dirty. This is what he said. He rushed home to fire back at his critic, a sharp-edged progressive who had dug up some of his old social media posts and was recirculating them online, but then he discovered this was a big mistake because he didn't know how old this person was. But this person was a 16-year-old leader of a group of activists. They're called the Markyverse. That's what they call themselves, or Marky teens. I thought this had something to do with Marxism. No, it actually.
I thought this had to do with Markiplier or something.
Let's leave him out. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I was like, damn, you a fan base?
Yeah. Anyway, so she's a 16-year-old junior in high school, and apparently, as New York Times put it, has many of the attributes of Generation Z. She likes to refer to people, like the president, as bestie. God, that doesn't ring more true.
Every
single
woman on TikTok right now, hey, bestie.
Or a gay person.
Yeah. I'm just like, James Charles has entered the chat. I'm like, bestie. Hi, sisters. It's like, no,
he
fuck
off. He
off.
entered the chat and then exited the chat for chatting with the wrong people.
Yeah, it's 13-year-old boys.
Yeah. Anyway, so she is representing, she is also representative of an influential new force in Democratic politics and activists who have cut their teeth on presidential campaigns of Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. The full strength of these activists, many of whom are not old enough to vote. So why is it considered strong, my boy?
It's just the news article just fucking making it sound way weirder.
So it did not come clear, it says, until last fall when they were key to one of the year's most surprising upsets, helping Senator Edward J. Markey from Massachusetts, defeat a primary challenge from Representative Joseph P. Kennedy III, who had been heavily favored to win. Oh, God, this is going to be one of those Gen Z is so strong things, isn't it? Here we go.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I'm in Gen Z. We're not that strong. We're actually pretty soft.
Bunch of pussies.
Yes.
Bunch of pussies.
In conversation, Miss Walsh tends to downplay her movement, describing them as marky teens and theater kids who formerly ran like Taylor Swift or K-pop stan accounts. Oh, God.
I don't even know what stan means. Like, when I hear stan, I think of Eminem. Like, a song.
That's what it comes from.
Does it?
Yes. It just means like a really hardcore fan.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. You see, I'm not like I'm that weird. I'm in that weird section where I'm not Gen Z, but I'm also not fucking a millennial. It's like from 1998 to 2000, I think people. I mean, yeah, technically I still fall under Gen Z, but everyone says that our generation, like those couple years, is just really weird.
You're like the edge.
Yeah, literally just like in the middle.
Gen Z, yeah. So essentially what this is all those stan accounts getting into politics. And now you can make the argument, well, Fatty, Red Boy, anybody who goes online and talk about politics when they're younger, isn't that just a political stan account? Yes, but let's be all honest. We've been scrolling through Twitter or something and be like, Stan, what's her face? And there's like a 2-minute clip of a completely unrelated topic of like a K-pop singer. This is them, and now they're out there doing politics.
Wait, how are these people gonna start saying that they're a stan account, yet these same people, the people that tried to cancel or wanted to cancel Eminem for how he rapped in his old music?
Mm-hmm. So it says, what? Oh, no, the term just comes from that song. That doesn't mean they like them.
That's still so weird. That's like a double negative.
We live in a world of triple negatives.
It's just like...
Which should equal positive.
Yeah.
No,
Technically, yeah.
Negative times negative, positive. Times negative, negative. I passed math, I promise.
I didn't.
But the Markeyverse is what they're calling it. So these kids carried out a devastating political maneuver, firmly fixing the idea of Senator Markey as a left-wing icon and Representative Kennedy as challenging him from the right. They carried out ambitious digital organizing using social media to conjure up an in-person workforce, an army of 16-year-olds, as one political veteran put it. Who can do anything on the internet? I will say this, we're pretty good at the internet, even though a lot of us are retarded on the internet.
I managed to figure it out somehow.
Cry about it. I don't care.
I managed to figure it out. Don't know how, but I got
essentially what this was the fact that this is a smear organization. This is exactly what this is. This is a bunch of teenagers who are doing what teenagers do, and that is completely smear somebody online and destroy their reputation. It's not just
literally just doxing.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's just like, think about like kids are brutal to each other online. Like 100%.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Kids are brutal to each other on the internet, so that's what they're good at. It's an organization that bullies people, is essentially what this is.
It's like Sky Jackson, but
yeah. And if you're gonna say, "Oh my God, you're coming at her," she's 16 years old. She decided to do this, bro. It's like entering the ring with Floyd, and you're 14. You signed the waiver. You knew what you was doing.
That's like when people make a video about me and then they hit me up asking for me to take my video about them down. I'm like, you literally made the video about me. I'm gonna keep the video up. I'm just like, you're the one that started it. I hate to be that, middle school type person. You started it, but you did fucking start it. So now I'm gonna fucking end it. I'm only 15, right? I'm like, well, you shouldn't have said some stupid shit. That's just the fact of the fucking matter.
Yeah, you should have shut your mouth and kept going to school.
You should have just shut up and colored.
A little bit about the guy they support. All right, Edward J. Markey helped introduce the Children and Teens Online Privacy Protection Act. So it's going to update data privacy rules to ensure both children and teenagers are protected online. This is directly from his site. That
seems like a really big, empty promise.
It prohibits internet companies from collecting personal information from anyone 13 to 15 years old without the user's consent.
That is bullshit.
That already happens, though. Yeah, that's BS. But they're just going to take that stuff that they end up confirming and giving it to the government anyway. Side note, though, that already happens. Most of the time, you have to confirm you're the age. Like, even to watch, like, as early as I can remember, having to watch a video game trailer, like a Call of Duty trailer on Call of Duty site, you have to confirm that you're of 18 ages or 17 or older, or 18 or whatever it is.
YouTube accounts, you have to verify your age.
Yeah, but people lie on that all the time.
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, it's just so weird. Because is it like social media too?
It just says it's just Online Privacy Act. So because I assume
as soon as you make an account for like different social media websites or websites in general, as soon as you make an account, a lot of the times, like they'll say when you hit agree to everyone says I agree to the terms and conditions. No one ever reads, me, myself, none of us read the terms and conditions.
Yep.
Most of the time, in those terms and conditions, they're saying that they can pull information from you.
Yeah, nobody reads it, though.
Yeah, and so then it's just like... It's like, how can he regulate multi-billion-dollar corporations or media outlets to not do that when they sign up for it?
Yeah, because nobody reads it. It says, this is what he said, a quote from him, Senator Markey, over the past year, parents have seen their children and teens spend more and more time online, and they're realizing that the internet simply is not safe for kids and adolescents. That's
no shit.
That's common sense. That's 100% common sense.
You should be
I remember when I was little, I was always like, hey, the internet is not a good place.
That guy should be a detective.
The internet almost got away. He sniffed it out. It was a sneaky little son of a gun. I don't know how he figured that one out. Good on you, Marky. You're a
Goddamn
genius.
Goddamn Batman. Fuck.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez.
That
No
dumb
one could.
cunt. Damn.
How did no one think? How did no one think the internet was a bad place? Well, yes, there are good things on the internet. Like, no one did not say it was a good place.
You know, the sad thing is, most people were probably reading that article you just read that aren't like us, and they're just like, he is such a good... Go you! You know, you are protecting our children. It's just like, no, he really didn't do shit.
Dude, like, I remember... What was it? Like, the internet... Like, when I was in middle school, like, everyone's getting Instagram accounts and whatnot, right? My parents did not let me get that for a while. You know what I mean? And... Because they were like, dude, it's dangerous, and it's not a great place, especially for kids. Well, yeah, the world isn't a good place for kids. You know what I mean? That's why there's curfew for when you're underage, or you can't go into certain places when you're underage, because the world's not a good place for kids, because there's really weird people out there. So, like, I guess good on them for pointing that out, but this is common knowledge. This isn't a new revelation. Anyway, so it says Big Tech has a... like just a ferocious appetite for kids' attention and data. Yes, but it's also because kids are more than willing to give it to them. I'd argue that a lot of the mental issues that the depression that people get is from being online for so long and running into negative things online, because it is not hard to find negative things on the internet. Go to Twitter, look up any person's political tweets, and then just read all the subtweets. And you want to throw your phone in the water, and you want to jump in after it with cement blocks around your feet. Don't do that, please.
The military. My mind's still on the fucking military. But the, like, parents nowadays, I mean, mine weren't like this. Like, mine, same as you, mine didn't let me get social media at a super young age.
Right.
But parents, like, nowadays are thinking that, you know, the internet's such a safe space. I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, I'm on the internet. I can tell you something. I know the fuck not. I'm like, the internet's not a safe space. You know how I know it's not a safe space? Because I'm exhibit fucking A. I'm an asshole. I will hurt your fucking feelings. Same with you. Same with pretty much all of you and my mutual friends. We are not going to spare your feelings. And then... it's just like, they're just like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You can go on there and do whatever. That's why so many kids are going on there being so influenced by what these bigger creators are doing and just not... they're just becoming menaces because they take after fucking Bryce Hall.
To society.
They're taking after Bryce Hall, Logan, whatever the fuck is... Logan and Jake Paul.
Logan's coming in half decent, dude, though. I'll say.
Well, who's the fucking asshole? Jake. That's Jake. Yeah. So Jake Paul. I mean, hell, look at like Madison. Well, I mean, Madison Beer. She's not a bad person, but like Madison Beer, Addison Rae, Charlie Dorito, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Something. Emilio.
Yeah, and Dixie. It's like they all post whatever they want to post. Cool, they have followers, but a lot of them post sometimes some questionable shit. Have you seen Addison Rae's music video?
I didn't even know she was still relevant, but...
yeah, apparently she's relevant, but she has a music video, and it's... I mean, she's clothed, but shows a lot more explicit things.
Right.
And most of her fan base, same as Charlie D'Amelio, the stan pages, whatever, are younger people.
Under the age of 18.
Under the age of 18. Well under the age of 18. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, the internet's not a safe space. I think that you shouldn't, like, hold off to give... or let your kids get any form of social media. Maybe Facebook is fine. I had Facebook at a young age, but that was back before Facebook got more toxic than Twitter.
I only got Facebook to see what my mom was posting about me and my family.
Yeah, I find some of the best memes on fucking Facebook. I swear to God, dude.
No, they're only good to you because you're old.
I'm like 2 years older than you.
No, but that's the guy they endorsed and got to actually win. And then he goes, she goes, I think, she did an interview, so going back to this 16-year-old girl, says, that's when I realized I had a stake in this game. They are scared of me, a random teenager on the internet who just happened to be doing some organizing with her friends. She said, I think that made us all think, hey, they're scared of us. We have power over them. And no, you don't. No, you do not have power over the government that is in power right now as a 16-year-old. You don't. you have no power.
If you think you have power over the government, I hate to tell you, you are sadly mistaken, darling, because they have all the power.
Yeah,
The only power you have over the government is the ability to say "fuck the government" out of your own mouth. That's literally it.
Yeah, the government has too much power, but
oh yeah, definitely way too big.
The only reason that she could say something like that is because you just found favor with the current administration and the governing people that are actually in office right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's scared of you, but this is the problem, right? This is where I start to see a danger in this, right? They essentially got him popular, right, over this other guy to win.
You had the power over other civilians that had voting rights.
This isn't the problem. The problem is when I see is they were talking like how Marky was talking about. Oh, big tech feeds on whatever young kids for advertisement and data and all this great stuff. Politicians do that just as the same to win. How do you think they win favor? So the problem I'm going to see with this is you might endorse somebody like this just because you don't like the other guy, right? You know what I mean? And you might sway this, and then the guy that you actually just endorsed turns out to be an absolute a-hole, right? Without doing research. Because let's be honest, a lot of teenagers and a lot of kids in our generation, or the younger part of our generation, tend to go against something strictly because, you know what I mean, it's the opposite of what they believe.
It's a rebellious type,
exactly. Well, it's not
ideal.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's like, I don't even like Biden that much, but like F Trump and all this stuff, so I'm just gonna hate every single thing Trump does, even if it's a good thing.
And that's not even
clear and it was very prevalent.
That's not even like kids though. That's like a societal like trend. It's just, I don't like what he posted on Twitter. Fuck that guy. Fuck how his policies were better than Biden's, like we see now. But hell, it was going all the way up to like 40-year-olds doing that shit.
Yeah, and the other thing I don't like about this, where this is starting to get more of a danger with me, is there are Stan accounts. Stans are just hardcore fans who literally idolize these people, who are, in all honesty, no more of a better or bigger person than you are, right? Everyone pisses yellow if you don't drink enough water, and that's,
mine's red.
You might want to get that checked. You might want to get that looked into.
Nah.
That's just an Asian side effect. Oh, I'm sorry. Stop Asian hate crimes. Or what's the hand? Because I can't do this because this is Black Power. So like, what do I do? Yeah, whatever. That's just America, brother. No.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the thing because it even says it here. She taped a copy of his victory speech on the wall of her bedroom.
I feel like she's got a shrine to him.
Why? Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, like that's the problem. You see all these people who will turn their attention to politics who probably have no idea what they're talking about.
That is literally just like that. More towards, that's not even like support. That's idolization.
That's obsessive.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's idolization of a politician, which a lot of conservatives did too, obviously, with Trump. A lot of them, like a metric fuck ton. Mm-hmm. But, like, the idolization in any form, besides, I'm not even, like, religious, I'm agnostic, but idolization in any form besides to your own God, I feel is just wrong.
Yeah.
Whether you're Buddhist, Jewish, Christian... like Catholic, whatever it is.
Norse gods.
Yeah, Norse, pagan. It's like, idolization is wrong unless it's to your own God. Now, if you're an atheist, hell, idolize a fucking...
Your mic just cut out, dog.
I think it's because I picked...
So, Red Bull is having some serious mic issues right now.
I think we're good now.
Wow.
I'm just going to...
Apologize to everyone's eardrums.
I'm just going to stop touching it, but...
Apologize to everyone's eardrums right now.
Fuck you guys.
Okay. No.
I was way too close to the mic.
I'm all for teenagers and young people to research when politics and get semi-involved because, when you turn 18, you want to know what you're actually voting for when you're able to vote. And, I'm all for that. Like, they said somebody skipped high school or skipped Model UN this year to sign up to work 2 campaigns. Cool, bro. You know what I mean? More power to you. But that literally starts off the sentence of that part saying the race had left them with a heady sense of power. You're already going to give a power-hungry generation who thinks they're just the best thing walking since a sliced bread, bag of chips, and a side of drink. More, I don't know, too much of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Sense of like I'm important and I actually matter in life. Because let me get this across, folks. I'm going to say this in the most respectful way possible. You do not matter. In the big scheme of things, dude, we're dust. We're nothing.
We're all pawns. We're literally getting played by the government.
So
wait. I need a beer. Ow, fuck.
Well, we'll be right back after Red Boy gets his beer.
Yeah. You see, the thing I don't get is, like, how does Gen Z think they're so damn powerful, think they're so damn tough? Like, I thought millennials were bad on their, their high horse of righteousness. Mm-hmm. Until I got onto social media, until I started seeing all this stuff, I'm like, how can you think that you're so powerful? There are people who honestly believe that Gen Z is more powerful than, I don't know the generation, but World War II generation.
The greatest generation, whatever. That's what they typically go by, right?
Yeah, and they think that they're more powerful. My grandfather was a spy in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. I can't go into his foot chest or trunk, whatever you want to call it.
I would say, what's a foot chest?
Foot trunk, whatever it is. But I can't go in there because it has a lot of classified documents. I'm not able to read it. And if I did read it, even though I'm his kin, I would go to prison. That's powerful.
Yeah.
You choosing to go by ze, zem, ze, in, ze, atik does not make you fucking powerful.
Okay, Hans. All right. Yeah.
Hans, get the shotgun. Yeah. Oh, fuck, that's a magnet.
Again, honestly, my biggest grudge against what they're doing right now is they're probably going to... They think they're more important than what they really are.
Yeah, they have a sense of, insane, heightened sense of self-importance. And I'm like, dude, we don't care at all. We don't give a shit about your feelings. We don't care about... Sadly, whoever's listening to this, even if you are on the left, because I do have left-leaning followers, I don't give a fuck about your pronouns. Mm-hmm. I know Zach doesn't either.
Oh, no. I mean, what you gonna do, swing at me? That's a high swing, bub.
You're a giant teddy bear, that's what you are.
Well...
You could probably break them in half still, but...
Teddy bears stay strapped, so... There's that.
Oh, mine are all put away.
So, what did they do that's so powerful? They did what just about everybody does. They dug up something from the past and used it to slander and smear their opponents. They're doing it with this one guy right now who they mentioned, the Mr. Dana Depulto. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but I cannot read. That's way too many letters. He's a centrist Democrat. See, okay, yeah, let me get this, by the way. Moderate and center Democrats are now viewed as right-leaning because if you're not progressive, then you're just not in the right mind of thinking whatsoever. So anything that is non-progressive is deemed right-leaning now.
So what would they be considered? A classical liberal, like a right-leaning libertarian?
Who knows? Anyway, that's literally what... It's just... we go back on Twitter and we find it and we smear it and we bring it across all headlines, right? Which I say, folks, be careful. If you're going to run for any type of powerful position, just know that whatever you post online will come back and bite you in the butt.
But we're not talking about a store manager position at Walmart. We're talking about something, a lot different.
Yeah. Anyway, so when she went after this guy, he's a 36-year-old, he's self-described centrist Democrat. It wasn't even anything crazy bad. It's a recirculating social media post that he made, says right here, criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement.
Like everyone did. Mm-hmm. But was he you said he was in a sense of power, or he was running for a... He was running for mayor.
He was running for mayor for Boston.
That'll do it.
Yep. And he withdrew from the race in April, and he said it was not due to Mrs. Walsh's criticisms. They probably realized that he's in a little too bit over his head. He then left Twitter, which he called toxic.
The thing
That was a good move. That was a good move.
I hate how Gen Z decided to weaponize social media. Mm-hmm. Literally just doxing. I mean, bowling's okay. I'm completely fine with it.
This isn't even activism. Hold on. I'm reading this. This is what she does. It literally says it right here. She maintains a detailed spreadsheet on the declared candidates for mayor in Boston, monitoring donations from developers, the police, and energy companies. She runs trainings for youth activists, entertaining her Twitter audience with juicy nuggets from campaign finance records, like a state representative who used campaign funds to expense AirPods.
So what is she, a fucking accountant?
No, she just will look into your social media history, pull something, and then put it all over the internet.
Literally like Sky fucking Jackson.
It's literally drama alert if it was in politics.
She sounds like a bitch.
She's 16 years old, but...
Still, my statement still stands.
You stepped in the ring, little girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like, and then I guarantee you, she's also probably wondering why she's getting like all this criticism. And just look at what you do. That's exhibit A, B, and C.
They're criticizing me. They must be scared of me. No one's scared of you. You should be scared about completing your driver's test.
The thing
That's what you should be worrying about.
It's like. Which, I mean, with Gen Z and how, like, you know, social media is nowadays, weaponizing social media, that's worked for a lot of people. Mainly due to the fact that a lot of people rely on social media to, like, be their social construct. It's like, because people care too much nowadays. You and me, I know, we don't give a shit. We don't give a fuck. Someone could dig up something that I said. Someone could dig up a video of me saying the N-word from fucking 5 years ago. What are you gonna do? Fucking cancel me? This probably is, yeah. They've tried canceling me before. It doesn't work. It's like...
They get a hold of the party
like,
chats.
Yo, fuck me, dude. Those get bad. Those get bad. But I'm just like, okay, if someone wants to dig up a video of me saying something from years ago, like 5-6 years ago, it's like, why would I care? And you remember, do you know Only Jayus?
Yeah,
that horror deal. I mean, yeah, she said it in a very different context from, you know, someone that might be singing a song. But she also cared too much because it was pulled up from like 5 years ago. She gave her followers, she has a lot of followers, but she gave her followers way too much of what they wanted. And then they wanted more. If you don't give a shit, and you know, make an apology video, boom, done. Just make an apology video. It'll go away on its own.
Or don't.
Yeah, or don't. I mean, like, I wouldn't make... Like I said, if someone pulled up a video from something that I said years ago... What, I said something when I was like 15, 16? Cool. Fuck them. I'm not going to apologize for my past self. It's not going to happen.
Basically... What I wanted to do, kind of circling back to like the main point of this article.
Oh yeah, sidetracked.
We have done that a lot this episode. She does nothing other than doing what consultant groups do, that go back and look into your internet history, or what you said that can be traced. Right?
She's
That's
like
all
a
she does.
third-party investigator.
Yeah.
She's a PI, basically.
She does what she's probably learned from school, which is how to bash people, right? And she's bringing it out to the forefront, which happens a lot, obviously. You know what I mean? Oh, God, the guy she endorsed, Markey, back then was a Green New Deal guy. Oh, they have no idea what they're doing.
Wait, he supported it?
Yeah, all credibility.
The one that was proposed by AOC?
Yep, all credibility is gone. If I thought maybe she would have done something smart, right? Because it's a clever tactic, pull up things, because that's big. Canceling people on the internet right now is huge, right? That is a big way to either gain support or get rid of someone's support, right? So
I on the internet, that's all you see.
But now that I figured out she's supporting somebody who supports a Green New Deal, yeah, this girl has no idea what she's doing. Mm-hmm. You need to wait till you get into the real world.
Is the Green New Deal even still a thing? Still proposed?
I don't know. I just saw there's a picture on the New York Times' website of him speaking at a podium with AOC, and it says like Green New Deal and all this kind of stuff.
She looks like a donkey.
Yeah. Oh.
And she's got about the IQ of one too. I cannot stand.
Don't insult donkeys like that.
I know that donkey in Shrek was pretty cool, but this bitch, she gives them a bad name. Like, fuck.
Well, so that's what this group does. They go around and they just oh, she's even wearing a shirt called the Green New Deal. See, this is the problem I have, actually, with young people getting involved. Is you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. And we're getting close to about an hour, so we're going to try and wrap this up. I'm all for, I think Tristan can agree, I'm all for younger people getting involved in politics and learning about things, right? Because eventually, you're going to have to vote, and you're going to have to know what's up. But when you're doing something... when you're doing something and supporting people who will literally, like, if you lived like 2 days in the real world and were self-sufficient, you'd know that half this stuff will never work and can't work. Maybe you would realize what you're doing is not great. And I wouldn't even say what the people are doing is smart. It's not a good thing. It's not something I support, nor is it something that I think is groundbreaking or is like a big revelation or, you know, this brand new thing. All you're doing is it's a glorified smearing campaign. It is nothing. It's nothing to be scared. You shouldn't be scared of these people. The little kids shouldn't be scared of them. They're not doing anything productive with their lives. They're doing something that they have no idea with the ramifications. They don't know anything. But somehow you're going to name them as we should fear them. Oh yeah, by the way, the guy that they shut down who was running mayor for Boston, like I said earlier, was a Democrat.
It's like, I don't get it. So the problem that I have with, like you just said, I'm completely fine with people like younger generation getting into politics. I totally support that. But like I keep seeing on TikTok with all these new kids coming in, they like, because obviously that's where I do politics besides here, they come in, they make some blanket statement, and then they just end the fucking video. It's like, come on, man. And it really pisses me off because they'll be like, oh, and these same kids that are doing this, putting a blanket statement and just ending the video there, are the same kids who are just like, oh, you're the one that got me into politics. I'm like, no, the fuck I didn't, because I would tell you to use some fucking credible sources. So they're just coming on here, making that statement, no credible sources, on an app where there's a lot of younger people that are just gonna be like, you know what, that makes sense. I have no idea what the fuck he just said, but you know, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, also, so like, you know how they're called, like I said earlier, the Markeyverse?
Yeah.
Or Markey teams, named after Ed Markey. They actually went after him because they figured out that he had said, well, the violence going on between Palestine and Jerusalem probably has blame to throw on both of them.
Yeah.
Instead of clearly siding with Palestine. So they're now going after him. Because once again, I decided to side with this person just because they weren't that person. Not because I actually like what the other said person has to say.
They endorsed them just to cancel him.
Yeah, no, they endorsed the Markey guy to get rid of Kennedy or whatever. What's his face? Yeah, because it even said, hey, look, his voting policy, he authorized the occupation of Iraq. You know, he did all this other stuff. They were flooded with emotion, disappointment, and betrayal. It says, well, maybe if you would have looked into it, because this did happen in 2002. You know, if they're 16 now,
back in Desert Storm, they weren't even born. No,
yeah,
because 18-year-olds were born in 2002.
2000, yeah. Yeah, it says if he would have voted to authorize, he voted to authorize. Yeah, the occupation of Iraq in 2002. You know, honey, you was doing such a good job researching these other people to pull up a dirt that they had. I guess you either conveniently forgot to look up the guy you were endorsing, or you just decided to skip that factor. Either way, you can't say you feel disappointment or betrayal when you just didn't look into it, woman. Or girl, because you're technically not a woman yet. You're 18, or no, you're 16. You're not 18. It's horrible to watch and disappointing.
Hey, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, if you're young, you want to get in politics, awesome. Just do your research, put some credible sources in there. If you really want to impress people, you know, do a little MLA format. But other than that, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't want to take the time to do your research, just stay out of it. You're allowed to have your opinions about shit that's going on in the world, but if you're going to voice them on a platform, make sure you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and if you want us to talk about the Israel-Palestine thing, maybe on next episode, I'm just going to tell you this right now, at least my view on it.
I haven't looked into it.
I view Israel as the Holy Land. This is a side note, because I am a Christian, and I think that the Israelites are God's chosen people. With that being said, right, I could care less at this point. They're firing at each other. Who fired first is who cares. It's been going on since 1948. You know what I mean? No matter, Israel will always be the Holy Land in the eyes of Christians, regardless of who's living there. And the Israelites will always be God's chosen people, no matter where they live.
Yeah, I need to look into it.
Who cares?
It's 2021, okay? So, I mean, it's like, I don't know why. I mean, it's obviously something with America. We just feel involved in everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more involved and we pick one side to go with. But I don't know.
That's all I was going to say on the Israel thing. I can always break down a little more, and we can do like a history of what's all been going on, so everyone can get the facts on how long this conflict's been going on. That was just
it's been going on for a while.
Yeah. Other than that, though, that's all I was going to say about that. I genuinely, really, I don't care. I could care less. All right.
That's the point I'm at with pretty much everything.
So yeah, we're back. We said it was going to be an hour. It's 57 minutes. Probably chop it up, whatever. This was kind of a not thrown together episode, but there hasn't been a whole lot, honestly, going on other than that one thing we talked about in the beginning.
We also haven't been digging too much either because we've both been busy. So if y'all have anything that you want us to look into, comment it down below, and we'll go take a look at it, as long as it's not something utterly stupid.
Yeah. I guess the lesson, the moral of the story, kids, for today's episode is don't be a retard.
Unless you're born with a mental disability.
Yes, therefore, go you. Yeah, that's it. Do your research, know what you're talking about, know who you're going to actually promote if you choose to get into politics. That way you don't look like an absolute imbecile when it blows up in your face. Also, be careful. Cover up your face cams, folks. Patriot Part 2 is coming out. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. I know I'm right on this one.
We're risking our lives for you because obviously our cameras are on.
Yeah. Plus, they can stare at my ugly mug all I want. I play shirtless. I'll go shirtless when I play Call of Duty. They can have fun with that one. With that all being said, hey guys, we're back. We love being back, and we can't wait to get into it. This has been episode 1 of season 2, and technically it's Pure American Podcast number 12. We will catch y'all in the next one. With that being said, everyone have a fantastic weekend. This has been Fatty, and this is my wonderful co-host Red Boy, and we'll see y'all later.